Right, welcome back to Beagle Eye Visions. I gotta be really quiet. Super quiet. It's 1 in the morning and everybody's sleeping. But so on the last episode, I talked about how I was gonna do the Crazy Life Stories podcast on Spotify.
Historically, overdevelopment of the shoreline leads to a wide variety of negative environmental impacts. But you should see the Italian-designed walk-in closets inside these condos.
Okay, shut up, Jerry. So I was talking about how I was going to talk about the new Indiana law policies. Well, July 9th, without any warning. I'm sorry, there's going to be a lot of ranting in this episode. I'm stressed right now. So, without warning, July 9th, Spotify completely changed their policies to where it's just Spotify is just like YouTube now, to where you have to upload a file, and you used to be able to just record a podcast, use their interface, and then upload the podcast. Well, this July 9th, without any warning, Matt Bennett didn't get any email. He didn't get any message. He didn't get any, no warning. They changed the policy, so we weren't able to even record an episode tonight because of this new policy, and we couldn't figure it out. So that was very concerning. And then, on top of this Indiana law, like, the timing is just crazy. Call me a tinfoil hat. Call me whatever you want. I really don't care. The timing is just impeccable. I really don't like the timing, especially because what just happened with Trump recently. So, with this new... They really want me to fight Scaly Pete, though. I can't level up? Guess I'll do this mission and go back to the Fatwick Bayou. Why is it telling me to fight Scaly Pete? It's so weird. Anyways, so this new Indiana policy, it's all about how... I'm sorry, I'm getting my phone real quick, because this is very concerning. And apparently only one person in Indiana sent me this policy. Morris Kidd. Shout out to Morris Kidd. Otherwise, I wouldn't have...
Sapphire Bay's famous Pier 1 provides visitors with plenty of skee ball, popcorn shrimp, and elegantly airbrushed t-shirts.
Apparently, me and Morris Kidd are the only one... Yeah, oh, that was the bay. Yeah, I'm not going to the dock of the bay yet. I'll just keep myself distracted. So, me and Morris Kidd are the only people concerned with this law in Indiana. So in India, I'm leaving town.
Baton Tordu was built just in time
so in Indiana,
for the slow decline of golf as a popular sport.
Jerry, shut up. Shut up, Jerry. So in Indiana, the police can use deadly force. The police have the right to use deadly force. And Bare Knuckle Hooligans, the band I used to be in, they recorded the album at Sweetwater, and you can find the Bare Knuckle Hooligan album, Never Walk Alone. It's on preferably Bandcamp, because Spotify is absolute trash, and Spotify is just garbage right now because Spotify bought out Anchor.
Encounters such as this are quick and impersonal things.
I'm about to turn him off for this episode. So Spotify bought out Anchor, and nothing changed, right, when that happened. Spotify bought out Anchor right around the same time Joe Rogan got a new contract. Got $1 million, millions of dollars contract from Spotify. They bought out Anchor, and Anchor used to allow...
or be killed world of the sea, performance-enhancing mutagens provide benefits that could mean the difference between life and death.
Spotify used to allow content creators to get money, right? Like, if you created an ad, if you created like a commercial basically promoting Anchor, you could create a commercial for free promoting Anchor, and then if you use that commercial would be, it would be live. They called it. It would be live for 3 to 6 months, depending on what type of ad you made. So you make an ad, Anchor would, if the more listens you got with the ad, you would get paid and you would get money. Even small content creators were able to get money, and so Matt Bennett was able to get $10, $12. Every listen he got to was like 10 cents or something. Anytime somebody listened to an episode. So Spotify did this contract with Joe Rogan, and then that July 9th thing happened to where Spotify is basically like YouTube. It doesn't have its own editing type of software anymore. You have to use your own program to make an audio file and then send the audio file or the video file into Spotify, and that's how your episode will get produced from now on. So he used to be able to just send me a link and we could do the podcast together. But now it's totally changed. So they took away his commercial. They took away his side hustle because he was earning money from the ads, from the advertisements. They took that away, and now they took it away that we can't even record a podcast together unless we have to be in the same room. It's weird. So I have to use my How to Become the True Media seminar skills that I learned last year and try to figure out how we can keep Crazy Life Stories still going, because they basically shut us down to the point where we can't really use Spotify because it was just a convenient thing the way that they had it set up. So back to this Indiana policy. It was effective July 1st, 2024. Statewide LETB uniform statewide policy. The subject of this policy was deadly force. Yeah, these guys are trying to kill me. I'm going to go in this tunnel while I'm talking about this policy because I'm reading off my phone right now. This is going to be a weird Grinding episode. I'm sorry, guys. I have to get it off my chest. I have to put it out on the internet because I wanted to talk about all these things on the podcast tonight. And Matt Bennett has been building his audience at that podcast for 4 years. And it's just gone. It's just completely gone because of this new policy, this new contract. I don't know what it is, so I'm gonna look at my shark eyeballs at you guys. So this policy, let me read it. Really, phone? Come on, phone. Okay, so the purpose of this policy, in accordance with IC 5-2-1-1, the Law Enforcement Training Board hereby establishes this consistent and uniform statewide deadly force policy in order to ensure the quote-unquote public safety and general welfare of the people of the state of Indiana, and to promote equity for all segments of society. Jesus, Bruce Lee Christ. This policy may not be added to, modified, or altered in any way by any Indiana law enforcement agency, office, or department. Okay, so number 2 is we get to the actual policy. It is the policy of the LETB. I just read Law Enforcement Training Board. To value and preserve the sanctity of human life. Law enforcement officers shall only use force non-deadly or deadly. They put non-deadly first. Like the way that these policies are written, they're written to manipulate the mind. They're written to make you feel safer. But if you really read it, if you really do your due diligence, that's not what it means at all. So non-deadly or deadly, in compliance with the law, this policy and the board establishes training programs to further an enforcement action. Officers shall use only the force that is objectively reasonable. And, from recent events, I mean, you look up George Floyd or Breonna Taylor, if you look up these guys who had lost their lives due to police officers, and then the police officers always get away with it, right? So while protecting the safety of the officers and others, officers shall use only the level of force which a reasonably prudent officer would use under the same or similar circumstances. But most officers aren't reasonably prudent. Most officers are absolute power-hungry psychopaths. I mean, you don't believe me? Just go get pulled over by one and then tell them you disagree. Tell the police officer you disagree and that you feel that the police officer is unsafe. You know, when you get pulled over, tell that. You make me feel uncomfortable. Tell them that and see how they react. The following definitions correspond to terminology used within this policy and the statewide training program. So, a chokehold. Police officers are allowed to use chokeholds, applying pressure to the throat or neck of another person in a manner intended to obstruct the airway of another person. Right after I just, George Floyd, how's George Floyd doing? He lost his life for selling a cigarette. Interesting. And then, like I said, with the gun policies, with the thing that just happened with Trump that I don't think I'm allowed to say on this platform, Trump, somebody tried to delete Trump, basically, with a firearm. So these firearm laws, it's like perfect timing. It's just perfect timing that this was enforced July 1st and then the Trump thing happened just, last week. I don't know when exactly happened, but it happened recently, very recently. Ooh, yeah, look at that bone teeth, boy. Look at that bone teeth. Bone tomahawk teeth. All right, so they're allowed to use a chokehold. They're allowed to use deadly force. And deadly force, I'm on part 3, the definitions. Deadly force is force which creates a substantial risk of serious bodily injury. So these are things they are allowed to do. This is just in the policy. I mean, it says this level of force which a reasonably prudent officer would use. But I mean, like I said, you just got to study history. I mean, study history. Study what happened to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Brian Dennehy. Once these things become policies, it only gets worse, right? It never gets better. It doesn't get these types of policies don't calm people down. You know what I mean? These types of policies don't keep people calm. I mean, I guess most people are absolutely clueless. So, so a deadly weapon. This is C. A deadly weapon means the following: a loaded or an unloaded firearm. So if you have an unloaded firearm and you approach a police officer, you could lose your life by having an unloaded firearm. Loaded or unloaded, they can use deadly force without question.
The hungry predator finds the catfish crisp, juicy, and tender.
This is not something that people should be, it's not something that people should be sleeping on. But everybody's distracted. Whoa, did you see what happened to Trump? Did you see what happened to Trump? Everybody's distracted, And the Cubbyhole podcast I was recording earlier was talking about, the most recent Cubbyhole podcast that he released was talking about the name of Donald Trump. He's talking, and then Trump I'm getting distracted. So, I'm getting distracted. So, a loaded or unloaded firearm, and then a number 2, a deadly weapon, is a destructive device, weapon, device, taser, or electronic stun weapon, equipment, chemical substance, or other material that in a manner it is used, could ordinarily be used, it is intended to be used, is readily capable of causing serious bodily injury. So, if us as citizens use a taser, if we just have, do you have any weapons in the vehicle, that they always say that. If you say you have a taser and, if you disobey, if you say you have a taser in your vehicle and you pulled over, they could use deadly force. They have automatic authority to use deadly force. That is what that means. Because that's considered it's considered a quote unquote deadly weapon in this policy's definition. It's considered a deadly weapon, and they can kill you and get away with it. I mean, the Bare Knuckle Hooligan said, "We live in a police state." I mean, it wasn't this bad back then when they wrote that album, but I guess they were tapped in. Yeah, go find that Bare Knuckle Hooligans album. I guess it's on Spotify, but I'm not trying to promote Spotify right now. So all these corporations, I'm just sick of these corporations. All right, sorry, I had to get a little bit of action in there. So back to the policy. I'm almost done, and I'll go back to gaming. So a destructive device, an electronic stun weapon is considered a deadly weapon. And this is the whole reason why the Second Amendment became an amendment, is because, you know, according to the Second Amendment, we are allowed to use the same force that they use on us. You know, that's how we keep the government in check. That's how we keep our power. That's what the Second Amendment is all about. It's about the equal fight. You know, your right to protect yourself against any injustices or any immoral human being. You have the right to protect yourself. It is a natural, inherent right that we are born with. It doesn't matter what country you're born in. If you're born on this planet, you have the inherent right of self-defense. You have the right to protect yourself. And in the state of Indiana, if you protect yourself with an electronic stun, that's considered a dangerous and deadly weapon, and you will be fired upon if you pull that out of your pocket while interacting with a police officer. And it's a joke. People wonder why America is a laughingstock, because it's like these hypocritical laws. So that was number 2. Number 3, an animal which is readily capable of causing serious bodily injury. So that's literally any animal. And which is used in the commission or attempted commission of a crime. So, and then I'm kind of getting distracted. I really wanted to talk about this on the podcast so I could get it. You know, I didn't want to try to be actively gaming while reading off my phone. So I was like, do I grind Fallout 4 without cubbyhole and talk about it? Like, I really didn't know how to do this, so I just figured I'd squeeze it in the Maneater. Because police are man-eaters. The snatchers. So F, we're getting to resistance, right? And I'm kind of skipping over some of the parts. So resistance, passive resistance. This is huge. Passive resistance, as defined by this policy, a non-forcible act that is intended to impede, hinder, or delay complying with a lawful order or affecting an arrest. So there's an example. Going limp or going dead weight is ignoring a lawful command or holding on to something while disobeying verbal orders to release. Listen to that. Holding on to something while disobeying verbal orders to release, wherein no force is directed towards the officer. So even if there is no force directed towards the officer, if you're holding something and the officer tells you to drop that something, you are considered a passive resistor, and they can use deadly force on you. They can take your life. If you are holding a phone and the officer tells you to put the phone down and you disobey, you are a passive resistor, which gives them the right, according to this policy, to use deadly force. And anybody could look this policy up. I downloaded it. I downloaded it directly from the state website. So you're considered a passive resistant, and then there's also active resistance. Of course, everybody knows what active resistance is. A physical action that prevents an officer. So here's what active resistance is. An officer, a physical action that prevents an officer from being able to lawfully exercise their duties. E.g., so example, subject walking away after being told to stop, subject fleeing from arrest, or subject tensing / pulling away / breaking officer's grip involving force demonstrated by the individual's use of power, strength, or violence is directed or violence directed at or against the officer. So, I mean, it's just like, think about like when you put an untrained dog in a kennel, like what does the dog do? The dog tries to bite you. It's in their nature. So if an officer tries to arrest you and your natural instinct is to pull away, that's quote unquote deadly force. They can shoot you and get away with that. That's deadly force. That's now you're actively resisting. Even if you flinch when they try to put the cuffs on you, that's considered active resistance. I mean, it's just insane. It's literally insane. I can't make this up if I tried. Passive resistance may turn to active resistance. Here, continuing on. For example, holding onto a steering wheel is passive resistance. This is directly from the policy. I'm reading directly. Holding onto a steering wheel is passive resistance. However, if an officer attempts to remove the hands and the subject reacts by tensing or pulling away using power, again, I just read that. You're active resisting. If you just keep your hands on the steering wheel, because they'll use any excuse to turn that gun on you. Usually when I get pulled over, that's all I do. I keep my hands on the steering wheel constantly. I never leave my hands off the steering wheel because, again, they'll turn the gun on you. They won't, and they'll get away with it. And this is supposed to be land of the free, home of the brave, right? Like this is a dictatorship, right? When the attempt on Trump, like the timing is impeccable. And I'm sure Indiana's not the only state that had these types of revisions to their policy. I can guarantee it. I guarantee Indiana's not the only state with these quote-unquote revisions. Like, we have to pay attention to this stuff. It's so important. We have to pay attention to this stuff. We have to. You're gonna be in a car with your family or your daughter. What if a police officer points a gun? These are the policies. If you're holding onto your steering wheel with your daughter in the car, you're considered a passive resist. Like, even if you're not doing anything wrong. So it gets into de-escalation and then the use of force. The law enforcement officer is justified in using reasonable force if the officer reasonably believes that force is necessary to enforce a criminal law or to effect a lawful arrest. I mean, it's just I'm not going to read the whole policy. I'm going to get back to gaming. But, these people, they're sharks. They're predators, dude. These people are predators. They're not... If you read these policies are not to keep us safe. It's to keep them safe. It's not to keep them in check anymore in 2024. It's to keep us in check. It's to keep us silent. And that's not, it's against the principles of what this country was founded upon. Freedom of speech. You can't even open your mouth to an officer. If an officer tells you to take your hands off the wheel and you say, hold on, my ass cheek itches, They can use deadly force and get away with it. And they will get away with it. They have before. I mean, just like I said, study history. Alright, now that I ranted, where's the humans at? Where's the humans? I'm gonna tear some humans apart because I'm stressed. This is nuts. So I didn't get to vent on the podcast. Sorry, I had to do it on the YouTube channel. I usually save my rants and my cussing and my my frustrations. I save all that for the podcast, but I had the podcast tonight. Morris Kid had a show, so I think he's probably freaking passed out in his comfy bed. I'm hopefully leaving town tonight and getting out of this police state. Because this is, I mean, man, it's just crazy. It's literally crazy. It's unlawful. I mean, these policies are insane. These immoral predators, I mean, these policies are for the immoral satanic predators, dude. And really, if you study Cubbyhole podcast, study What on Earth is Happening, there's Wake the Dead, there's so many good podcasts out there that talk about this stuff.
In this eat or be eaten world, there's little room for error or sentimentality.
Yeah, like I said, there's no adults, like no homeowners around me that even know about this. Morris Kid told me about this policy while we were gaming the other, like it's.
Shot back in '93. And if Cliff Giddich tell you I didn't, he'll lie.
Show your ugly face, Doc.
Random mutations aren't random. They require large amounts of mutagens as a catalyst.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm frustrated. This policy makes me angry. You know, there's always there's that amazing saying, if you're not angry, you're not paying attention.
Port Clovis has grown bored of the hunt, leaving our shark to fight another day.
And then I announced that I was going to talk about this policy, and then all of a sudden, this July 9th, I mean, it's crazy. I don't know. Maybe I should take the tinfoil off my head. Who knows? I don't know. I like having freedom. I enjoy having what little freedom I do have, but this is I mean, they can kill you. They can
As
kill
can
you.
see, the Gulf
Deadly
Coast stopped
force.
growing cotton and rice and started growing luxury vacation homes.
And it's just like what happened with, with 9/11. It's, you used to be able to smoke cigarettes on planes. Now you can't even take a bottle of shampoo bigger than 2 ounces on the plane. There's reasons why they implement these policies, and there's reasons why they do it incrementally. They don't just overtly say, take your guns away or we're gonna kill you. They do it very incrementally, and they do it in waves, so to speak.
Especially large groupers have been known to swallow sharks whole. So the bad feelings here go both ways.
It's always incrementally in waves, and it's always under the guise of your convenience and your safety. And, my current location is South Bend, Indiana, and the current mayor of South Bend wants South Bend to be a smart city. And so, with that in mind, do your research on what happened to Hawaii. Hawaii is now a smart city. They are a fully implemented smart city. And then from there, they want 15-minute cities where everything is, within the same block. You see it in dystopians all the time. 1984, you're not allowed to leave the city. The very underrated Dredd movie, the Judge Dredd movie, the remake, but it's called just Dredd, Dredd. Again, all the characters in that movie lived in a 15-minute city. That's literally what it was. And then you got movies like, the popular movie Leave the World Behind that was released on Netflix, and White Noise. At the end of the world behind, Leave the World Behind, there were bombs got dropped, and radiation was in the air. The daughter was getting radiation poisoning.
From a nasty, horrible day.
And the son started losing his teeth.
Just avoiding the beach for a few hours.
Started just pulling his teeth out. So I'm looking at all these movies and not happy about it. And another movie, Civil War. I thought it was an Avengers movie, but it just came out. The studio A24. Just made the movie Civil War. Again, you got all these movies coming out, all these dystopian movies. Why? Why are they producing these dystopians? Why are they putting the idea of Civil War in our head? In that movie, Texas and California secede from the United States, and then the Civil War happens. Why are they putting these ideas into our head? Why are they putting it into the subconscious of the entire world?
Maybe we kill a different shark and say it's the shark.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the rant. Sorry. I try to stick it with like I said, I try to stick to the gaming, but this is important. People need, who knows, it might be coming to a state near you if you live in the States. It might be, you never know, it might be coming to you.
All I see is water. I'm sure the shark's dead.
It seems Port
All right,
Clovis
sorry, I'm gonna
has
use the restroom
forgotten
real
all
quick.
about its rogue shark. For now.
All right, sorry about that. Sorry about that. It's a freaking crazy night, man. Nope, I gotta turn the air off too. It's starting to rain. All right, yeah, sorry, kind of a boring episode, but yeah. Had to get it off my chest. Get it off my chest. I'm probably gonna listen to that. Probably listen to that Bare Knuckle Hooligan song a couple times. We live in a police state, where crimes are justified. Where crimes are justified. We live in a police state. You know, I'm supposed to be getting picked up to leave town tonight, and I noticed it started raining, so I'm gonna might have to check on the person, see if they're okay. Yep, sorry, I just got to message this person. Oh, most unprofessional gaming channel ever. So unprofessional. All right. Back in. My head's back in the game. All right. It just started raining. I got somebody coming to pick me up so I can leave this crappy, horrible state. Got everything's packed up right here.
Back when I was a boy, I thought I'd be a golfer. Damn, if I didn't like sinking sharks, a lot more better than sinking putts.
I really hate Scaly Pete. What a douche. What an egotistical douche cannon. Scaly Pete is such a clown. Alright, so what's next? I guess I should go fight Scaly Pete, eh? So I will be out of state tomorrow. So excited. That's the last license plate? I'm gonna try to go get that. Yeah, I'm sorry again. I'm just kind of like spaced out, frustrated about this. But like I said, hopefully I'll be gone. But I'll still have to study the next state's laws and policies, you know.
Tigeroos are part of a complete balanced breakfast for anyone aspiring to one day suffer from fatty liver disease.
That's hilarious. This game is funny.
During the 1920s, Sapphire Bay's pier was host to a collection of merry-go-rounds, wooden roller coasters, and fun houses, all of which would be destroyed in a succession of tragic fires.
It's all the golden shores. Yep, just got the nutrient caches. Oh, I got one more. I might as well try to. Might as well go. Oh, so I probably have to wait till I'm elder. So. Alright, I guess we'll go to the next area.
Even for sharks, it's important to create personal time for sober self-reflection.
Actually, I'm gonna go back to Fat Wick. Fat Wick? Born on the bayou. Yeah, I'm going back to Fat Wick, complete these last couple of missions, and then get a couple of more of the collectibles. I hope this is entertaining. Hope my
Some
tinfoil
shark
hat
species
rant
practice cannibalism in utero.
is entertaining. Man, this game's so much fun. It's crazy coming back to this area when you're this big. This game is a master. Like, I'm just gonna say it. I don't care if any other YouTubers say it's. I mean, of course it's repetitive. It's a shark PG. It's an RPG. What RPG isn't repetitive after a while? You know, to level up and get buffer, get beefier. They're all repetitive, man. That's the grind. It's the grind for you. Bing bong. Man, that was kind of difficult. Jeez. Alright, I can get all these catfish.
Groupers are capable of absorbing extreme amounts of water in their attempts to suck up prey.
Yeah, so it would be so nice if Crazy Life Stories podcast
Bull
had a
sharks
team, or
prefer
if
to
Beagle Eye
hunt in
Visions had a
cloudy
whole
waters,
team,
where it's harder
you
for
know.
prey to spot them.
Yeah, but the content would definitely be a lot better, right? If we had a team like all these crazy, you know, Mr. Beast probably had a team. Like, I know How to Drink has a team. How to Drink is an amazing YouTube channel, by the way. How to Drink is so good. Shout out to Greg. Shout out to Greg of How to Drink, dude. He's a legend. Seems like a nice family man. Takes care of his family. Runs a YouTube channel on the side. It's epic. What more can you say? Greg's a great guy. Shout out to Greg. Yeah, I'm just completely baffled by what happened with Spotify and the Trump thing and the hustle and the boop doop. Oh, speaking of, I need to turn the porch light on so person knows where to go. All right, just look for the green beans because Boston Celtics won the championship this year. You heard me? They're going to be on... Boston's going to be on 2K25, right? I saw Tatum. They announced Tatum on the cover. Man, I'm so pumped, dude. Tatum deserves that cover, bro. Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Porta, dude. Seems like German dude. I can't pronounce his last name. Gosh, it was such a good year, man. Such a good year for the Boston. That's why I love Fallout. That's why I love playing Fallout. I love existing in Boston. I've never been to Boston. I've always wanted to. Always wanted to go to Boston. If I ever went to Boston, I would love to take a train. You know, maybe take a bus and then get on a train. I think that'd be so cool. Boston is so gorgeous to me. The history there. That's why. Wish I could grind Fallout 4, but I need to order a new mic. Microphone keeps cutting in and out. And then even the headset I'm using now, the boys on Discord, the Skatopia crew on Discord, saying my headset kept cutting out. It's weird. Just might even have to get a new headset already. Just got this headset. Thanks, Amazon. Another company I refuse to give my money to now. And I just paid for Spotify Premium about 2 months ago. I'm canceling that. Canceling Spotify because, I mean, you know, they say if it's not fixed, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I'm sure Spotify bought out Anchor. Anchor was a small company. That's why they were able to. Oh!
The Bayou Brawler, the American alligator.
Trying to make sure the person doesn't go in the wrong driveway. Neighbors got their headlights on. It's 2 in the morning. Why are the neighbors' headlights on? Dude, this guy's beefy, man. Jeez. I gotta do the Apache method. I gotta get some health. Oh, come here. Come here, Bayou. Ouch! Stop hitting me with that tape.
Rosie has been a star at Big B's Bayou Bunny Stunt Show, but our star is far too young to appreciate Rosie's classic brand of celebrity.
Dude, that was so close. Ah, my heart is beating so fast. I can't believe how close that was. I'm not dying. Not dying this stream. Not dying this gameplay. That was. Oh, I accidentally pressed the freaking pause button. That was so close. Jesus. Jesus, Bruce Lee Christ.
The versatile grouper
Give me
can
some
be
health. Give me
fried,
some. Where's the health
grilled,
at? Give me all the
skewered,
health.
used in soups, or made into a horrible tasting gelato.
That was so nuts. Holy, I can't believe I just survived that. I really thought I was gonna die. I need to breathe after that. I would have been so sad. I would have been so sad if I died. And then, with right as the clockwork, 2 in the morning, 3 minutes ago, Hamish Patterson, High Frequency Vibe Tribe on YouTube. The Illusion. Trump lands on the moon's grassy knoll is what The Illusion's most recent video is called. So I'm definitely going to have to watch that after this. Oh, man. Made it to the 5-minute mark. I can't believe I just survived that. That was honestly lucky. That was totally lucky. Yeah, there was no skill involved in that. I made it by the skin of my teeth. That was insane. That was insane, dude. I had a sliver of health. Oh, I can't wait to get out of the state. During the 5-minute warning. I can't wait. I'm so happy. I can't wait to get out of here. Check out that Bare Knuckle Hooligans. I went on tour with Bare Knuckle Hooligans, man. I played Connecticut. Played South Bend with them. I bet they probably voted Trump. I burned all my bridges of everybody I know in Indiana, so I really don't care. I mean, everybody in Indiana is a bunch of statists. Like, why would I want to have a false form of friendship with a bunch of statists who vote for a politician to take away all my rights? I mean, that's not a friend. Friends don't take away each other's rights, bro. Like, what? You don't vote to take away my rights. Like, what if Trump takes away everybody's guns? Then you voted to take my guns away. Like, jeez. That's not a friendship. That's a dictatorship. People need to tap in. Listen to Cognac more often, bro. Peoples aren't getting schooled by valedictorian enough. I'm going the wrong direction. Alright, so hopefully I'll be able to grind some Fallout. Oh, I just smacked the microphone into my mouth. Hopefully I'll be able to grind some more Fallout. Maybe find a cheap replacement cord that I could use on the microphone somehow, and then keep the grinding going. That's what it's all about, right? It's all about education. It's all about moral education. Moral education, philosophy, study of the mind. That's what philosophy is. Philosophy, study of the mind, the mentalism, the first hermetic principle, right? If you guys have tapped into the book reviews, Beagle Eye book reviews. I need to update that playlist. I need to update that Beagle Eye book review playlist, because it just says book reviews. It doesn't say Beagle Eye.
Since the mid-20th century, an increasing number of oceanographers have warned about uncontrolled development
So
of the
I'm gonna
sea.
eat some fish, get some more nutrients. Interrupt Jerry, because I'm tired of him interrupting me. Jerry, you want to watch Midnight Run on DVD again, Jerry? Who wants to watch Midnight Run? Oh, I always have to mess with the settings. They never have the right settings. Remember when Jerry said that? Rick and Morty's like, oh, the settings, the Midnight Run settings. You always have to mess with the TV settings. It doesn't look good. I respect Jerry, man. I like Jerry. He's cool. Totally clueless, like most Americans that I've been ranting about this episode, but he's cool. So, thanks again if you made it this far. We made it to the end. Thank you again if you made it this far. Like I always say, you definitely, please, stay tuned. Look for the next book review. I'm probably going to record it here. Or no, I probably won't record it here. I'm not even halfway yet. Because there's so many topics on the next book review. So, read books, stay tuned, and most importantly of all, like Cubbyhole Podcast says, keep transcending dogma, and like Beagle Eye Visions always says, stay golden. You have to stay golden. Keep that alchemical gold going, right? And it's, of course, outsiders, because I'm an outsider. I'm an outsider. All right. Stay tuned. Stay golden. Thank you if you made it this far. There will be more grinding.